How do you think Conor's going to come back in his fight versus Holloway?
Here's what I can say. I've never seen a situation where coming back from such a long layoff is a good thing. Layoffs in this business are, you got to stay active. You got to stay busy. But again, you're talking about a guy like Conor who has that knockout power. And Max Holloway's, one of the greatest to ever fucking do it.
Yeah. Are we expecting to see a Conor that looked like Nate this last fight? Or are we expecting to see a better Conor than someone that looked like Nate? Because Nate did not look good.
No, but Mike Perry did. And Mike Perry looked like a fucking murderer.
You know what I mean? Like
Mike Perry is a murderer.
He's a murderer.
And this is
such a savage.
You take a look at that. When you're taking an older fighter, which Nate is now, and you're
21. You're 5 fucking years ago, July. So it literally will be 6 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
But when
it'll be 5 years. It'll be 5 years.
When you're taking a younger fighter and putting them against the old dog, it normally doesn't end well for the old dog.
Well, the thing is about Max Holloway is Max Holloway isn't that much younger than Conor.
He's not.
But the thing is, Max has been in constant high-level competition the entire time. Won the BMF fight, beat Dustin, constant high-level competition.
That's right.
It's a different thing.
And I honestly believe him at 155 is the best thing for him.
Absolutely.
But he's not 155 in this fight.
This is 170.
What if the biggest UFC 329 storyline has been completely misunderstood? As July 11th rapidly approaches, the buzz surrounding Conor McGregor's long-awaited return has reached unbelievable levels. But Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier have
that rematch with Conor McGregor.
It's going to be a tremendous fight. I think that we now get to see two guys that are adults, right? The first time they fought, they were children. Max was a kid, Conor was a kid. These guys are going to be grown men fighting in what will be... It's hard to think that an event will get bigger after this, but every time Conor McGregor is here, it's bigger and it's better. The sport's better with this man in the fight game, so I'm excited for that.
Daniel Cormier believes this rematch is nothing like their first encounter, and that's where everything changes. Back then, both fighters were still finding their identity inside the octagon. Now, they're battle-tested veterans carrying years of experience, championship wars, and absolutely everything on the line. That's precisely why UFC 329 no longer feels like just another rematch. It feels like the career-defining chapter that could shape both legacies forever.
On how he's going to look on his comeback.
I think Max smokes him like a brisket.
You think so?
The thing is, Conor has the power. That's not going to, no matter the injury, that's going to be there still. The timing, a lot of things, other things matter, but the power is going to be there.
What are the odds on that fight, you think?
I think
Max is the favorite.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Max is the favorite. But
Max is the one.
3-1, I would say.
3-1?
I don't know, man. I'm curious as to see how Conor's going to look because, like you said, 5 years off is a long time. The game changes. Now, Max is an older fighter, but still he's been current with the current game, the speed of the game, the new stuff that everybody's doing. I don't know how Conor adjusts.
It's also the lifestyle. I think Conor lives a certain lifestyle that we've all seen, and then you can kind of tell that it's not for show. It's really his lifestyle. And Max lives a complete different lifestyle, where I've never seen Max at a club drunk. You never see him on the headlines for anything bad. That guy lives a different life, where he's gym, family, gym, family, gym, family. I think that's going to pay the biggest dividends, because you could be away from the sport 5 years, come back like nothing happened if you live that life.
I think all of us are probably going to be on the same page where, the only chance Conor really has is to knock out.
A puncher's chance.
First 2 minutes.
A puncher's chance.
And probably in the first or second round. Probably you just think.
Second round, I don't even think. I think he got 2 minutes in him.
I know, well, he's also going against one of the biggest volume punchers we've ever seen. So he's not coming back in against a guy who can kind of have an easy.
Dustin Poirier believes the real gap between Conor McGregor and Max Holloway goes far beyond raw power. It's everything that unfolds once those explosive opening minutes disappear. Conor's knockout threat remains terrifying, and nobody questions his ability to end a fight with one perfectly placed punch. But after spending years away from active competition, major doubts still surround his timing, cardio, and whether he can keep pace with today's elite fighters. Meanwhile, Holloway has never stopped evolving. His disciplined lifestyle, non-stop activity, and relentless pressure have kept him among the sport's very best. According to Poirier, if Conor fails to make a statement early, surviving.
It was dangerous for Max early, though. Listen, me and Conor aren't exactly friendly. But what I'm saying is, so I'm not saying this from a perspective of we're friends and we're buddies. He was the 2 weight division champion. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he made all this money and all the rest of it. But the man's the most powerful tool.
Yeah.
And the guy that was there, all right, granted, it was a long time ago, 2016. But if the motivation's strong enough, he can come back and look really good. And yeah, he was flipping out at Max the other day in that interview.
Did you see that?
But he was playing the game. He was promoting the fight, hyping it up big time. And he looks good, you know? Like, he looks like he's training and taking the camp seriously. And if he is doing that, I'm telling you.
But I think
Max is awesome on the feet, but...
Michael Bisping refuses to write Conor McGregor off just yet. He believes the biggest mystery isn't whether Conor still possesses the skill. It's whether he still carries the same hunger that once made him nearly unstoppable. If McGregor has genuinely dedicated himself to this training camp and rediscovered that championship mentality, he could shock plenty of doubters. But Bisping also delivers a serious warning. Conor's best chance arrives early, and if he wants to flip this fight upside down, he may need to do it before Max Holloway settles into his dangerous rhythm.
That for a second, Max believes that when he lost to McGregor, it was a very short time after that he felt he could compete with and beat McGregor. That's why it's fun. That's why the fight's fun, because not only do you have 2 guys that are elite at what they do, they both have an unwavering belief in themselves that they can beat the other guy, and are going to do everything to make sure that happens. Hawaii's going to show up for Max Holloway.
Daniel Cormier believes this showdown is far more dangerous than most fans are willing to admit. This isn't simply skill against skill anymore. It's unshakable confidence crashing into unshakable confidence. Both Conor McGregor and Max Holloway are absolutely convinced they'll leave the octagon with their hands raised. And when 2 elite fighters refuse to believe defeat is even possible, don't expect an ordinary fight. Expect an all-out war capable of leaving the entire MMA world completely stunned.
I think it's very similar to the Ilya fight. Max Holloway is more like an Uzi. Bap, 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 bap. The consistency, the significant striking numbers he has is out of this world. It's bing, 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 ding, 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 ding. It's always in your face. It's constant movement. It's touch, touch, go, touch, touch, move, move, advance, play. It's constant activity. But he doesn't have that one punch power, that shotgun. That's what Conor has. Conor's always had that shotgun. If that left hand lands, it's game over. If I'm Conor, I'd walk his ass down. I'd put his back to the cage. I'd go high, I'd go low, I'd go high, I'd go low. I'd keep him guessing, and I'd put everything straight down the middle. And then sneak one round the corner when he doesn't expect it.
Ian Gary sees this battle as a collision between 2 completely different kinds of weapons. Max Holloway breaks opponents down with non-stop pressure, endless combinations, and a terrifying pace that refuses to slow. He forces fighters to survive instead of strategize. But Conor McGregor brings a completely different danger. He doesn't need a storm of punches when one perfectly timed left hand can erase everything in a single moment. That's why Gary believes Conor's best path...
He says
he's won 1 fight in 9 years.
He says he's in his prime. He hasn't won a fight in 9 years?
Yeah. He's won 1 fight in 9 years. Donald Cerrone.
Wow.
9 years.
And that's Cerrone that moment
with a good shoulder.
Yeah, with the little, hit him with the little shoulder. He stunned on Cerrone. He looked.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Unless he's got a gas tank that we didn't know about that he's been working on.
I don't even know if you can work. I think I think you get into shape, as best shape as possible, and I think there's like a limit to it. And then I think it's about how comfortable you are in there, you know. And I just think because he's been out for so long, the uncomfortability is going to just be too much, and that's going to zap his energy. Those adrenaline dumps are going to happen. Like even with his Nate Diaz fights, you go way back. Like you said, once you started seeing the fight go the other way and have him kind of on his back foot and he's getting hit with shots, he doesn't look comfortable at all. He's not just staying in the pocket, super comfortable, coming back with shots and using like footwork with some energy in it. He kind of falls apart in those situations. So, yeah.
Like you see this, I don't know.
Listen, I'm with you. The odds are stacked against Conor McGregor, big time. You know, he hasn't fought in 5 years. He's had a lot of time off. He's coming back from a traumatic leg break injury. Max has been very active against the best guys in the lightweight division, and he also is a cardio machine. Conor slows down, He has the most significant strikes in the history of the UFC. He's a huge volume puncher. He doesn't slow down as the fight goes on. On paper, it's a nightmare.
I actually think it's of all things.
Jorge Masvidal believes the biggest threat to Conor McGregor isn't his legendary power, but everything that has unfolded since his prime years. Conor still carries himself like the unstoppable champion fans remember, but the statistics paint a completely different picture. Over the last 9 years, he has only secured 1 victory, while Max Holloway has continued battling elite competition without losing momentum. That's exactly why many experts are giving Holloway the clear advantage heading into UFC.
I can put another one, I would say Conor McGregor, because he brought the sport to a different level.
Yeah.
Of in terms of
notoriety, people know him.
Notoriety. Like, he's bigger than the sport.
Yeah.
There's the martial arts circle, the sport circle, and then something that englobed that, the entertainment circle. And he's he broke through the entertainment.
Pierre believes Conor McGregor didn't simply become a UFC superstar. He transformed into a worldwide phenomenon. While most fighters remained limited to the combat sports spotlight, Conor shattered those boundaries, entered mainstream entertainment, and completely changed how the sport was viewed forever. That's why even after spending years away from competition, his comeback
McGregor fight in July is going to be fucking bananas. It's going to be bananas. I mean, people are going to go crazy for the return of Conor McGregor because he's a giant personality.
But don't expect the same thing.
How could
you just can't.
He hasn't fought in 5 years, right?
But that's the problem.
It might be more
because they're going to all expect that.
I think it is a little over 5. It's almost 6. I think
it might be 6 at the time of the fight.
It might be. I think it's
July.
5. I think it's 5 right now.
Are we expecting to see a Conor that looked like Nate this last fight? Or are we expecting to see a better Conor than someone that looked like Nate? Because Nate did not look good.
No, but Mike Perry did. And Mike Perry looked like a fucking murderer.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mike Perry is a murderer.
He's a murderer.
And this is
such a sad.
A prediction. A finish, bro. Mystic Max is feeling a finish, bro. Finish, bro.
Joe Rogan believes the excitement surrounding Conor McGregor's comeback is something the UFC hasn't experienced in years. But hidden beneath all the massive hype is one unanswered question nobody can solve. Which version of Conor is actually stepping into the octagon? The explosive former champion who once destroyed the competition.
But I remember after he fought Donald Cerrone, Dana White came in the back room and said, I'm never questioning you at welterweight again. I'd argue you're more of a real welterweight now than you even were then. You look to have really filled out. You are hitting harder than I've ever seen you hit. Are you feeling?
I feel great. Yeah. I feel absolutely amazing. Exceptional. No corners cut. No flash or... We've been quiet this camp. Yeah. We've been at work. So that's confidence. There's a lack of confidence if you need to share things or get this ego boost. We don't need it. We're going to do it on the night. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for my team and for my country.
What do you think Max doesn't understand about fighting at 170? What is he not realizing until he gets in there and actually tries it?
Listen, there's a different thud when you fight against him. For many years ago, I put my improvements on.
You said multiple times during your media tour in New York that rematches is like an honourable thing to grant. When they came to you with Max's name, I know there was others, but when Max came to you, were you like, yeah, no, I want to prove that rematches should be given if they're earned?
I love a rematch. Who doesn't love the story builds, the tension builds, the fans get excited, they've got comparisons, it's great for business. I'm all for a good rematch. And yeah, there you go. Max's name was forward.
I remember when I first started watching you, before I was even working with you in MMA, there was a time you did a media scrum and you were rattling off stats and reaches and things like that. And then I heard you in New York talking about minutes that Max has been in there and how long he's been in there. And I realized, it's still there, the passion and the attention that
danger will be everywhere inside the octagon from Max. So we are well aware of him in this gym, in this camp. That's it.
Do you think he's improved since that fight?
I don't care.
Okay, fair enough. You have Of course, people usually say when you're away, maybe the attention disappears, but you've actually already set records again. I think it's going to be the highest gate. I don't know if you saw, you are already the highest valued trading card in MMA. You beat Ilya Toporia's record. I don't know if you knew that, but you've basically come back. And is it fun, at least, or do you still feel anything when you see these metrics and realize, still the bread?
It's a lot of fun. It's more fun. It's for the fun more than for anything else. Yeah. So all of these sweet cherries on top are beautiful.
Conor McGregor insists this is not the same fighter fans witnessed in his last appearance. He claims he's stronger, more confident, and has experienced one of the quietest training camps of his entire career. According to him, true confidence doesn't need endless attention or loud announcements. It reveals itself when the cage door closes. Despite all the discussion around Max Holloway's recent achievements, Conor makes it clear that his team has analyzed every detail and isn't ignoring even the smallest threat. He even embraces this. Alexander Volkanovski believes the opening rounds could be the moment that decides everything. He warns that if Max Holloway becomes too confident or charges forward without respecting Conor McGregor's power, one perfectly timed left hand could instantly flip the entire fight. That's why Volkanovski expects a more calculated and patient Holloway rather than the non-stop aggression fans are used to seeing early. He believes Max has the experience needed to avoid those dangerous exchanges, survive Conor's biggest attacks, and gradually take control as the fight moves deeper. But until those crucial opening rounds are finished, Chael Sonnen believes too many fans are making the weight difference a bigger issue than it really is. According to him, once fight night arrives, those numbers become far less important because both fighters step inside the cage weighing much closer than people expect. In Chael's opinion, this battle won't be decided by size or physical advantage. Chael Sonnen believes Conor McGregor is still one of the most dangerous punchers in MMA, but that danger comes with a limited window. In his opinion, if Conor wins this fight, it will almost certainly happen early and in a spectacular explosion. The problem is that Max Holloway has built his entire career on surviving elite strikers and destroying opponents with non-stop pressure. That makes this one of the most brutal comeback challenges McGregor could have chosen. Chael believes there is another layer to this story. McGregor isn't returning because he needs more money or attention. His comeback is fueled by something much deeper, the need to prove he still belongs with the absolute best fighters on the planet. After listening to UFC legends, former champions, analysts, and the fighters themselves, one thing has become impossible to ignore. This is not just another main event. This is a defining moment. For Conor McGregor, UFC 329 represents a chance to silence every question that has followed him for years. Can he still compete at the highest level? Can he prove that the fire that turned him into a global superstar is still alive? Or has the sport